It wasn't really a fight night, was it?
I mean, some people was fighting a little bit, a little bit of fight night.
A lot of drama though.
Very dramatic, very classic soap opera WWE. The show was.
Ramble Zone, acknowledge us.
Acknowledge the tribal chief.
No, the tribal clown.
The tribal clown. Yeah, that's what they be calling him out there in the WWE streets. I don't know. I acknowledge him though. I'd be like, yeah, acknowledge.
What, with the Crayola belt?
Yeah, this is a real championship belt. This is the real shit right here, EC Dub. But yeah, he got a Crayola belt now.
Super Crayola belt. But it did go a little something like this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is I, your 3-time Ramblemania, former Ramblemania champion, Katie Kaboom. And we are joined today by the man, the myth, the legend, the 11-time Ramblemania World Heavyweight Champion. And of course, Mello wants to cock block this, but it's okay. The one, the only, TJ The Great! TJ The Great one.
Damn right. 11 of them things, the champion of the universe. That's what Roman said. The universe got to acknowledge him. So the universe got to acknowledge me, even though I may not have that belt right now.
We are in the 1 week of the Ramblemania MJF reign. Still darkness, still cloudy.
It's dangerous out there in the streets.
It is. So, listen, Kevin, I know for a fact that the next one is Forbidden Door, and I know there's a high chance that unless someone helps me, you can win this. You cannot let this reign go any further.
AEW New Japan, I understand the stakes. This is on my back. It's Hazel even said it. It's pretty much me versus him, Forbidden Door. Everybody else will be involved, but we got the advantage on that one.
Yeah, because Muffin don't know much about New Japan. You know AEW.
Yeah.
Even though
we literally just watched the New Japan show over the weekend.
I mean, I do think it's interesting that Ospreay and Omega are finally have like a live televised fight in the United States.
Not even. It's gonna be in Canada.
Well, it'll be aired to the United States.
Yeah, aired to the States. Yeah, at a reasonable time. Yeah.
Right.
And it's looking like we're getting Bryan Danielson versus Kazuchika Okada on that show as well, which is show lining up to be something legendary.
Oh yeah.
I said before after the show, Tony Khan and Gato better wrap them dudes in bubble wrap and hide them so that they don't get hurt before this show, because Omega Ospreay is too big to lose. Danielson Okada is way too big to lose. We got to protect those men. Protect them with your lives if you must.
You know, I meant to tell you last time, because we're seeing a lot of like Blackpool Combat Club lately, especially after the Anarchy in the Arena match. But they need to put more focus on Wheeler Yuta.
I mean, I feel like they are right now.
Now, yeah, but I mean, like, they need more of a push on him because they be treating him like he's the little brother of the group.
I think that's the story they're trying to tell with him, though. Like, when they have matches and Danielson's on commentary, you hear him always talking about Yuta and how the point of the Blackpool Combat Club is, they, Moxley, Danielson, and Claudio are world-class, legendary wrestlers at this point, and they want to pay it forward to the next generation. They want to make the next generation even better, and that's where Yuta comes in. They're training Yuta to be the best possible wrestler that he can be. So when he makes even the smallest of mistakes, they're on his ass, because it's like, no, you can't make these mistakes. We wouldn't make these mistakes, and we want you to be better than us, so you can't make these mistakes.
You know what's funny? They remind me of the wrestling version of The Outsiders.
I mean, in a way. Especially the way they are on time and attacking people. They do not play.
They don't, but they all have each other's back because Wheeler Yuta right now is totally Pony Boy. I really want to say, if we're going by the movie, right? Excuse me. Mox is the Patrick Swayze character.
Okay. If anyone was Mox, yeah.
I know I never thought I would ever make that comparison, but Cesaro is the Matt Dillon of the group.
Okay.
And Daniel Bryan is Ralph Macchio.
You know what? I suppose so.
Yeah.
It's a good comparison point. Like they are like, and even the way they operate, they are like this badass ragtag family of dudes that are just training to be the absolute best, fighting out there to be the absolute best. That's their goal. And the BCC is low-key my favorite shit in AEW and all of wrestling right now. Like I love the BCC.
I feel like they became more hardcore than what the Shield could have been.
Yeah. Like this is I feel like all three of the bigger guys like at the peak of their badassness. Like Mox feels like a killer, Claudio feels like a killer, Danielson feels like a killer, and it feels like they're molding Yuta into being on their level. Like not many people have pinned Kenny Omega, and Wheeler Yuta is now on that list. So that's a big thing, being a part of that group right now.
I wonder what Omega's thoughts are. Because he's the one that had to get pinned.
Yeah. And I mean, again, like you could pin any of those guys in the Elite, and that's a big win because those guys are all major stars. But Kenny Omega is, many would argue, the best wrestler in the world. And pinning him is a big deal.
So you agree Omega is better than the Tribal Clown?
Oh yes, I do think Kenny Omega is better than Roman Reigns, but I also watch considerably more Kenny Omega than I do Roman Reigns, so I don't know. Maybe don't take my word for it.
How about this? You want to do Roman Reigns highlights one day?
I mean, I know how Roman Reigns wrestles. I'm just saying, I'm not locked in on him week to week as I am Omega and things like that. And I mean, in terms of the major performances over the past however many years, Omega's definitely been better. Like Roman's drawn more money, but performance-wise, Omega's been better.
You want to get into the news?
Yeah, let's do the news. What's going on in the world of wrestling?
So, first of all, I thought we all understood that Lacey Evans was low-key biting the Sergeant Slaughter bit. Like, I feel like it was just there. Everyone knew it, right?
Yeah, it was pretty blatant. Blatant.
Like, it couldn't get more blatant than it did on Friday, right?
Yeah.
So, Sergeant Slaughter's daughter comes into the picture, claimed that Lacey Evans stole the Cobra clutch and now the hat. So, over the weekend, the Sergeant Slaughter's daughter was not pleased with how Evans' new look was. We all know that Lacey Evans served in the U.S. Marine Corps, but he walked in wearing a drill instructor cover hat, many compared to Sergeant Slaughter, with even some accusing her of stealing his gimmick. Others pointed out that Slaughter's gimmick was stolen from the U.S. Marine Corps, and while no records show that Slaughter served in the military, Evans did for 5 years. Slaughter's daughter responded to the initial tweet by saying that she respects Evans for her. First of all, whoever wrote this article wrote his service, her service. She's female. She had a baby. She believes Evans stole the Cobra clutch and now the hat. The Cobra clutch has been used by countless names, including the Iron Sheik. I have my respect for serving our country 100%, but I'm talking about the gimmick. Cobra clutch and now the hat. You look ridiculous. Hashtag gimmick. Evans responded, a move is a move. As far as military can handle. Cover goes, come and take it. I'll show you a fucking gimmick.
Yeah, I actually kind of don't understand because, like she said, she's a real Marine. Like she really served this country. So, if anything, shouldn't you be like, hey, this person who served in the Marines is using my dad's gimmick. That's cool. But she's mad. I don't know. I mean, be protective of the gimmick or whatever. That's fine. But again, Lacey actually served. You really can't tell her anything on this.
I mean, maybe. So you remember when Ronda first debuted and she came out with the Rowdy Ronda gimmick, copying Rowdy Piper? She got permission from the family to use the jacket, so she got the blessing. Maybe on some weird, like, I'm playing devil's advocate. Maybe she was hoping, even though she's a Marine, she would maybe ask.
The other thing, and fair enough, but the other thing that's interesting to me is when stuff like this happens in the industry, the legends or the people connected to the legends in question always see fit to come at the wrestler and not the company. It's like, sure, Lacey made, we don't even know whose idea this was, but this fucking cat, we don't even know whose idea this was, but it's on TV and it was obviously cleared by higher ups in the company to be on TV. So why are you mad at Lacey and not going at the company? I know why, because you don't want to burn bridges with the company.
Talent is your target because the talent will react.
It's the talent that's going to react. The company will probably just blackball you when your money gets fucked up or whatever. But I mean, it's still like I don't know. It's what can you really say to her on this? She's not gonna stop, clearly. Like, she's talking shit on Twitter. So I think you got to kind of just take the L and move on. And I don't even see it as an L. Like, it's a real Marine using your gimmick.
I mean, maybe she's one of those, and I'm gonna sound like an asshole for saying this, right? Like those very much conservative back in the day type people that women shouldn't be in the military. Maybe she thinks that a female shouldn't represent what Sergeant Slaughter was. Like, it's so many ways you could really turn this into it.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose there's something to be said for that. But I mean, and if that's the token, then you definitely can't say anything because it's 2023 and there's women all over.
Oh yeah, no, I never said it was great logic.
Yeah. But I get what you mean. But on that token, like, it's 2023, so women do all kinds of different things everywhere in all different walks of life. So, you gotta get with the time. Listen. Again, if I don't know what she's trying to accomplish with this, but good luck to her.
I'm trying to find out if she's a wrestler or not.
Yeah, like, if she's a wrestler, she's trying to work an angle out of this. Then I don't know if that's gonna work, but good luck to her.
It just talks about how she's on her Twitter, daughter legendary Hall of Famer, G.I. Joe, Sergeant Slaughter, daughter house. What is that?
Yeah, she out here just basically, I'm Sergeant Slaughter's daughter, so I don't know how she.
Wait, I'm going on YouTube right now to see what she about. So their channel, so it looks like she does a podcasting channel with him, but it's very much cloud chasing her dad. Like, it dead says here, Slaughter Daughter House, episode 2, hanging out with my dad, Sergeant Slaughter. Slaughter Daughter House, G.I. Joe Classified. Slaughter Daughter House with dad, Sergeant Slaughter, Dean and Haiti.
She just riding that name to the bank. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Is that why she's bad at this? Lacey about to fuck up the gravy tray?
And the YouTube says he's a real American to a whole generation, but to me, just my dad stayed with us, and we discussed what it was like for a family to be part of the whirlwind that was the WWF, G.I. Joe, and all things USA.
You ain't out here trying to talk about that time your dad betrayed the country, but
she even got merch. Wow. Yeah. So, Bray Wyatt is expected to make a WWE return. First of all, I didn't know that he was actually gone for that long, but he said he'll appear on WWE TV soon. He disappeared from all shows. Oh wow, he did in February. And there was rumors already about his hiatus status. At one point it appeared as if they were going to make a feud between Wyatt and Bobby Lashley, but that direction was dropped. And then also the Uncle Howdy gimmick hasn't been seen since. In recent days, a new rumors emerged that from social media claiming that the creative came to terms with Wyatt about a new storyline and that he's agreed to make it work despite not feeling fully satisfied. WWE insider Boozer Wrestling shot the rumor down. The latest rumor was labeled complete bullshit by the insider, who also stated that his story was scrapped the moment he felt it wasn't in it for Mania. There's no other story than the one agreed on post-Mania. The insider also confirmed Wyatt's return, stating he's coming back but not pampered like hinted.
I mean, so I guess Bray Wyatt might be coming back, but people are like, no, he's not, and we're basically where we were before with him, which is nobody knows what the hell is going on with Bray Wyatt.
I also want to know who Uncle Howdy was.
I don't know. He's dead now. He
That's
jumped
so
off.
wild.
That's the last time I saw him. He jumped off the shit. He missed LA Knight and exploded.
My dude. They gotta stop this. They need to have one really good gimmick with Bray Wyatt and give him a good run. And that's it. Let the man be mad. So, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, reveals he has severe brain trauma.
Oh, well. That's unfortunate to hear for the $1 Million Man. You know, not that long ago. Well, like 2 years ago, but in relativity, not that long ago, he was hanging around on NXT with Cameron Grimes. So, sorry to hear that.
DiBiase, known as the $1 Million Man, as per the New York Post, revealed last week on his podcast that severe brain trauma is causing short-term memory loss. I'm dealing with this. This is legit. I don't have Alzheimer's or dementia, but they all said, Ted, you have something. We simply call it severe brain trauma. I said, really? I only wrestled for almost maybe 20 years. I'm not surprised that I might have a little brain trauma, DiBiase said on Everyone's Got a Pod. It's covered by Wrestling Observer. What it affects is my memory, and they say it'll be easier for you to remember something you did 40 or 50 years ago. But the short-term memory, some of the stuff right now is bits and pieces. For those that don't know, DiBiase, who's 69, was the first WWE, then WWF North American champion and 3-time tag team champion for the promotion. His pro wrestling career began in the Mid-South Wrestling territory in the mid-1970s and took him to WWF, the NWA, All Japan Pro Wrestling, and WCW. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2010.
He's a legend of the business, beyond everything. So, I mean, you know, prayers, I guess, to the $1 Million Man. Everybody's got a price, as he once said.
But are you ready, sir?
I am ready to get this thing done.
In the name of the Ramblemania and the Bob Marley God, Mello the Canine Crusader, and whoever may be listening to us, to those all around the world in the millions of seats, I now declare this. What's SmackDown on SmackDown? Ding, ding, ding. I got the ratings here. So Friday's episode saw an increase in ratings. According to Brad Thurston of WrestleNomics, the show averaged 2.563 million viewers on Fox, an increase from their 2.158. The show received a 0.73 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic, up from 0.52 rating a week ago. This was a follow-up from the Night of Champions pay-per-view live. I'm not saying that PLE bullshit. And it included a celebration for Roman Reigns holding the Universal Championship for over 1,000 days. They received their highest total viewership December 30th, 2022, as well as its highest key demo since December 25th, 2020. Last year, the show drew 1.939 million viewers and a 0.47 demo rating to 1849 demographic. Fox is winning right now.
Yes, that's a very good number. Roman Reigns has become what they wanted him to become. He has become a big draw. They said his segment did 2.9 million, almost 3 million, which was what Fox wanted out of SmackDown on a consistent basis going into the deal, but that never really panned out. But considering what their baseline is, this is considerably above that. And again, further proof that Roman Reigns has become a major star. Like he's a needle mover now, man. This is it's good for them, good for him.
But now, how are they going to keep this going?
That is the question. Normally the idea would be once you have a big star is to help use his star power to get other people over so that you can plug into those positions when that big star goes away. That's not really how WWE works. So the how WWE has typically worked is they're gonna ride it till the wheels fall off and then just move on to the next guy and hope that he gets there. That's basically what happened with Roman. They rode Cena until the wheels fell off with him, or more aptly, till he just wasn't there every week anymore. They went with Roman. It took them 5 years to get Roman to that point, but they got him there. So we got to wonder who's the next guy that they're just gonna throw everything into once they eventually realize, oh, Roman can't do this consistently anymore. That's my take on it, because that's how they've virtually always been.
I mean, they still haven't found someone that could beat Roman yet, so I doubt the next best thing is gonna happen anytime soon.
Yeah, it's likely that they're not. They don't need the guy that is gonna be their next guy ain't even there yet. It's very likely because Roman he's looking like he's gonna be around for a while.
So where were we this time?
SmackDown Live was in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, the Mohegan Sun Arena.
Tell us about the show, man. Tell us about the show.
Yes, we opened with head, if I'm brutally honest. Literally just Michael Cole and Wade Barrett standing at ringside like, Roman Reigns is the greatest champion you have ever seen. Tonight, we will celebrate Roman Reigns and how fucking amazing he is. They go into this big video package chronicling his journey to 1,000 days as champion. They have Paul Heyman doing narration, where at one point he says, this man sent a 16-time world champion into the ocean of obscurity, which is hilarious because, like, the champion he's talking about is John Cena. And it's like John Cena is literally where WWE fans are deluding themselves into thinking Roman Reigns is going to be. He's one of the biggest action stars in Hollywood. Like, John Cena, he has moved up, not out. He has moved up. He is beyond this company now. But fair enough. You got to make it look how you make it look. Then, after we get the whole chronological video package, we recap the Smash and Stack'em WrestleMania where he beat Edge and Daniel Bryan. Rest in peace to Daniel Bryan. I wonder what ever happened to that guy.
Bryan Danielson.
He does kind of look like the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. They do look somewhat alike. I think they even did similar moves in their matches. That's crazy.
Oh, Bryan Danielson is badass.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I like Daniel Bryan. He was great. Like, he was one of the GOATs. But Bryan Danielson, that's a different beast. So, he's definitely not the same guy. But yeah, it's Austin Theory in the ring now, who also mentions Roman's title reign. He's like, yeah, it's great that Roman Reigns has been champion for 1,000 days, but it'd be even better if you combined it with my U.S. title reign. That would be like 1,229 days.
1,209.
Yeah.
Days of excellence.
Yeah. And then he says, and if you keep giving me guys like Sheamus to face, I'm going to be U.S. champion forever. 2,000 days, 3,000 days, 4,000 days. And then he says, let's bring out some guys who decided to do the right thing last week and stand in the corner of the best in this business. Pretty Deadly. And Pretty Deadly comes down. They give Theory a big old yes boy to celebrate a real champion.
But it's funny because you forgot about the part where they talked about how he again talked about beating everyone's favorite John Cena, but bro, it's still a hollow win because John.
We do not care. That's why I skipped over it. We do not care.
Listen, man, John Cena. If John Cena doesn't respect you for putting him over,
right? Like if you pin this man, and then the first thing he says about you after that is, "I don't believe in this dude," then you did nothing. You did nothing, my boy. You gotta keep rolling. But I get it. He pinned John Cena, so you gotta keep saying that, right?
It's just a really hollow win. It's just like, bro, shut up.
Yeah, it's nothing. But they're gonna keep pushing that. But the Brawling Brutes come out.
It's
they come
Fight
out.
Night.
It is Fight Night now.
Fight Night.
They go right into a 6-man tag team match. No Teddy Long, player. It's the Brawling Brutes against Austin Theory and Pretty Deadly. This crowd loved Sheamus. This was a Sheamus crowd. Like, we had Pete Dunne and Kid Wilson in here doing some work, and the crowd is like, we want Sheamus. Yo, Sheamus, get in there and start beating people up. Then the cuts start happening, and full disclosure, the last wrestling show I watched before this SmackDown, which I watched today, was New Japan Pro Wrestling's Dominion. And if you've ever seen New Japan, you know how their camera work is. It is the most sport-like of any wrestling promotion, really. They hold hard cam shots. They don't do crazy cuts and zooms. They do impact zooms. They minimize the zooms for maximum impact, basically. So to go from that to this is a painful adjustment that I wish on nobody. It was terrible. Like, I'm watching this, like, it's really bad.
Remember, this is the day you blame Twin.
This is Twin's fault. You damn tribal chief. Get your ass
Tribal
back
clown.
Yeah.
Tribal clown.
You are the tribal clown, Twin, for not showing up and watching and you watch SmackDown. you choose to watch SmackDown. You want to watch SmackDown. I don't. Get your ass back in here. But yeah, Peter Dunne's getting worked over. He fights back with a tornado DDT, gets the hot tag to the fella. He goes 10 beats of the Bodger on Pretty Deadly, but Theory cuts him off before the other brutes come in, and they all hit a triple white noise. So then Sheamus, he hits Theory with the bro kick, but Pretty Deadly pulls him out of the ring. And then Sheamus, he hits a double axe handle to the outside off the top rope. And then Pete Dunne follows up with a moonsault into the commercial break, which 2 commercial breaks for this opener is crazy to me, but I guess it was rocking. Yeah.
Really good point.
Yeah, man. We come back from break. Theory goes for the rolling blockbuster, and Sheamus gets the pump knee off that for a near fall. Both guys make tags. Ridge comes in. All 3 guys get one on the apron, and it's 10 beats of the Baldrin for all 3 of the heels. At 30 beats of the Baldrin, I guess, because it's Sheamus, it's Holland, and it's done. Then the match breaks down as Wilson and Prince, they pull a switch in the ring. Like, Wilson hides his face in the ring skirt, in the apron. And, since Pretty Deadly, they wear the same thing. They don't look alike. They just wear the same thing. So if you can't see their face, you would be confused. Like, all right, which one is this? Prince comes in, takes advantage. They hit Spilled Milk, and that allows Theory to get the pinfall for the 1, 2, and 3. Pretty decent match, if not a little long. Sheamus was over, though.
We need more Sheamus.
The people are rocking with the fella. So, I don't know.
The fella's having a good run right now.
Yeah. People like him. So, yeah, maybe do something with that. Maybe he's the one that'll beat Theory for this title. Maybe. We'll see.
Probably, because I feel like they're going to be over him soon.
Yeah, because you got to... I know what company I'm talking about here, but it is nice to strike when the iron is hot sometimes.
Well, we go to another video package. You get the highlight of a chaotic scene that saw Jimmy Uso turn on Roman Reigns, giving the tribal clown the ultimate of super kicks at Night of Champions and bringing his little brother with him. After the package wraps up, we shoot backstage of the wise man, Paul Heyman, carrying both of the titles, heading to the locker room with Roman's name on it, and enter the room as we head to another commercial break. When we return, we see Heyman talking to Solo in the Bloodline locker room about how big of a deal tonight is and how he wants to make sure it's a special night for Reigns. He's going to talk to Adam Pearce and make sure that the Usos are nowhere to be found. We then go to the commentary where Michael Cole and Wade Barrett talk about how Seth freaking Rollins captured the World Heavyweight Championship at Night of Champions and shoot to another video package showing the highlights of the match against AJ Styles. After the package wraps up, we shoot to the OC locker room and see Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Mitch and Mia Yim hanging out where the birthday boy apologizes for ruining their weekend. They'll take the L and move on after they could get back to business and fuck up Hit Row. We go to the arena, their themes hit, they come out, and then another fucking pre-match commercial break.
It is hell.
Ashanti the Adonis and Top Dollar come out with B-Fab, and it's time for our next bout of the evening, which takes place in the tag team division with Adonis and Dollar of Hit Row taking on Gallows and Anderson of the OC. The bell sounds that we're officially off and running, which sees Hit Row get the jump on the OC by attacking them as soon as the match is underway. Top Dollar and Carl Anderson kick things off for their respective teams, with Top Dollar actually taking the lead early on. Gallows finally gets the hot tag and comes in like a man going crazy. He lands the big foot and helps shift the offensive momentum into the favor of the OC. Moments later, he and Anderson hit the Magic Killer finisher for the win. After the match, we see Hit Row try and sneak in a beatdown. However, AJ Styles hits the fucking ring and delivers the phenomenal form and sends them running off to the back. The OC celebrate their win as the fans fucking cry out, "Happy birthday, AJ," chants for Styles. The winner is the Good Brothers, the OC.
Shout out to the Good Brothers. Those I admire those men. They get in, they get out. Sometimes they don't even get booked, but they be getting paid. They always getting paid. AJ was like, "Hey, I'm sorry I ruined your weekend." Carl Anderson's weekend was not ruined. He does not care. As long as he getting paid, he don't care. That's all he here for, is to get the check.
I love how the fans wish him happy birthday.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice. Shout out to AJ. Happy belated birthday to him.
Happy belated birthday, AJ Styles.
Yeah, one of the goats of this industry. Adam Pearce, he's in the back. Paul Heyman walks in, and Pearce is like, "I already know why you're here, and I've already made sure that the Usos won't be here tonight. I have stopped their travel, and if they do show up to the building, I have increased security. Keep that in mind." Then it's the Grayson Waller effect. Grayson Waller, he's out in the ring. He's like, "Welcome to the hottest show in WWE with me, your hottest star, Grayson Waller." He throws to the Night of Champions match, and then brings out your new Raw Women's Champion, Asuka, to SmackDown.
Nobody's ready for Asuka!
Yeah, so Grayson's talking to her. He's like, "Yeah, so you did a great job winning the title, but, I'm looking up now, and I see those briefcases. So, obviously, you got to keep your head on a swivel, because someone might win that briefcase and then cash in on you." And Asuka responds in Japanese. And Grayson Waller is like, "I couldn't have said it better myself. You're absolutely right." So Asuka, she keeps going. Like, this whole time, she's talking in Japanese. But then out comes Io Sky, who is also talking in Japanese. And she's yelling at Asuka. So it's just like that one segment from Raw a few months back. And we cooking now. It's Io and Asuka going at each other. And they're arguing. And unfortunately, the crowd was chanting "what" while they were talking, which disappointing, but not surprising. Because, WWE fans are conditioned to do this shit like this when foreigners are involved. But I hope they continue to do stuff like this. Have people cut promos in their native language.
It's funny because while I was going off, I put the captions on, right? Because sometimes I'm editing, but I could read it instead of hearing it.
Yeah.
So it was saying some wild shit. Like they're talking and something about the yellow juice was like on the floor.
Oh nah.
What?
You gotta get a direct translation. Captions tried to sell you.
I was like, oh. I was like, okay. But what else happened next?
But yeah, so they're arguing, but then as Grayson tries to cut them off and get order, Bayley comes out, her music hits, signifying that this is definitely about to be all the SmackDown women standing in a row. Leather is a blessing. That's all I will say about Bayley coming out here.
Oh yeah, she looked amazing.
Unbelievable. She notes that she has won Money in the Bank in the past. She has. And she says that it's one of Damage Control is going to win it this year and get that title back. Then Shotzi comes out. Then Sergeant Slaughter comes out. Lacey Evans comes out.
Oh shit.
She has to have had set a record for most gimmick changes at this point. All they ever do with this woman is change her gimmick. Like,
wait, let me see how many gimmick changes she's had in 1 year.
I don't know, man, but every time I see her, she's doing some different shit than she was doing before. Again, admittedly, Lacey was an actual Marine, so I guess it makes sense for her to do this. But still, they keep doing this. Then Zelina Vega comes out right after her, and she says, "You all can underestimate me if you want, but I was in the ring with Rhea Ripley, and I almost beat her, and I'm going to win that briefcase and come back and win the Women's Championship." Asuka, in the meantime, while they all start to argue, has escaped this stupidity, and she's on the ramp like, nobody is ready for Asuka, you dumbasses. And then Bianca circumvents all that shit, and she attacks Asuka from behind on the ramp. They start brawling. The refs break them up, and that's where we end that segment. All the SmackDown women standing in a row. The WWE special, the fastball, if you will.
And then we got another promo about how Cameron Grimes approaches Adam Pearce about Baron Corbin.
Yep. Cameron Grimes is like, when he showing up again? And Pearce is like, he'll be on NXT next week. And then Grimes is like, well, next time he comes to SmackDown, I'm coming for him. Bro, just go to NXT. They won't care. Just if you really want to get him, go to NXT. And catch him in the parking lot. Shit. You know the NXT parking lot, Cameron Grimes. You know how they get down out there. Go catch him lacking and put him in the dirt if you're really mad at him. Yeah. And now it's the Zelina Vega versus Lacey Evans. During the break, when they were taking out all of Grayson Waller's stuff, Lacey caught Zelina lacking and hit her with the woman's right. So when they came back from break, Zelina's in the corner. I'm like, God damn, she hit me. And we start this match. Zelina's at a disadvantage early on. She comes back with a roll through front kick, but Lacey cuts her off again. But then Zelina comes back, hits a code red for the 1, 2, and 3, which gets the quick win. And okay, then off Lacey goes, likely to be repackaged yet again. Zelina Vega is in Money in the Bank.
I really hope they don't give her. So they're gonna give her Money in the Bank, and then they're gonna do what they did with Liv.
Liv cashed in the same night, right?
Yeah, same night, and then she gets the momentum, and then someone bigger is gonna come and fuck her up, and then it was a waste of building her up.
Yeah, it seems like WWE has now developed the same sort of thing with the women that they were doing with the guys forever, which is, oh yeah, you're so small, and then the person's like, oh, I'm small, then don't underestimate me, and then eventually a bigger person comes along and beats them anyway. Like they have done that shit for years.
Look what they did to Kofi.
Mm-hmm. They do that. Like, then for years they didn't do that with the women, but that was mainly because they didn't do anything with the women but treat them as eye candy. But now that they don't do that anymore and they do like real storylines with them, that's one of the storylines they gave them, which great. Great. We get another recap of Roman beating Sami in Montreal. And Cole points out how it's interesting that none of these videos show how the Usos have helped Roman retain the title every step of the way. Which is
no, of course not.
Yeah.
Not just him at his finest.
Yeah. They whitewashing everything. The Legato's in the back. They're proud of Zelina. Santos says, next week, I'm going to qualify for Money in the Bank. And then Ray pops up. He says, by after everything, they're going to be calling both of you guys Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank. And the LWO is very happy.
And then it's my favorite part of the night. Yeah. Get I made a punny. Yeah,
here he comes. Yeah. And they couldn't even hide it. He was over this time. Yeah, they couldn't pipe in those boos. Yeah.
Fuck those pipe boos.
Yeah, they had to let the real reactions fly this time. Montez Ford versus LA Knight. Another Money in the Bank qualifier. Again, show's live, so they can't completely change the crowd audio this time. And again, LA Knight, very over, to the point where they're booing Montez Ford. Like, they're like, yeah, you all right, Montez Ford, but that's LA Knight. We ain't fucking with you tonight.
Like, he needs to get Money in the Bank. I want to see who he's going to try to cash it in on.
Yeah, he might be the move. The way the crowd was going up for him in this,
he might be the move. LA Knight.
Yeah, I can see the vision. I see it.
WWE, can you see the vision?
Yeah.
The future is LA Knight.
Yeah.
But as Knight settles into an offensive driver, we head into a mid-match commercial, because why the fuck would you have, you know what? This is an AEW. So when we return, Knight's still in control, but isn't long before Ford starts to show signs of life as the fans rally behind him. Ford takes over, but ends up getting screwed anyway. This Knight gets him down long enough to go for the cover, where he gets on his feet on the ropes for an added leverage without the referee catching on to the fact, and he picks up the win. With the win, LA Knight qualifies for the men's Money in the Bank match.
Yeah. Interesting match here. Interesting to see Montez kind of leaning into being a heel, because the crowd booed him, so he sort of went with it, started mean mugging and looking out and doing all that type of stuff. So, I mean, I don't know if that's something that they have in the cards, but it's something to think about. Yeah, Elbow Fyre and Isla Dawn are here being spooky. They have a bunch of words going off the screen. They're going through like this snowy forest tundra type of deal. Then they pop up, and as they've been calling themselves, the Unholy Union, Alba Fyre and Isla Dawn, the NXT Tag Champs. So, I mean, me simping over Isla Dawn aside, I do like them. Like, they're cool. What are they going to do? I'm interested to see what are they going to do, especially since they are the NXT Tag Team Champions and they're doing SmackDown today. So, I mean, shout out to them, and especially shout out to Isla Dawn. And it looks like there's been enough talk.
I mean, it shows we had like 7 segments of talk.
Yeah, it's time for the main event, and the main event is a talking segment.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Triple H comes out, bowed down to the king.
Yeah, baby.
Bow down to the king.
I have a new belt. Let me put it in the ring. Yeah.
Oh, and we see in the middle of the ring a covered up belt. And we're thinking it is the same belt that everyone talks about. But Paul Levesque heads into the ring, and we watch another moment in Reigns' 1,000-day journey. On that note, another fucking commercial break. But when we came back, the commentators announced 4 big qualifying matches for Money in the Bank on next week's SmackDown. Those are Butch and Baron Corbin, Santos Escobar versus Mustafa Ali, Mitchin versus Bailey, and Shotzi versus Io Sky. So now that we're back in the ring, Triple H is there. He's telling his fans to respect this because this is a performer that comes once in a lifetime that they will be telling their kids and grandkids about. And of course he has to say that because he's on Fox.
Bro.
You didn't feel like that when it was the Authority and Roman couldn't get a title win.
They was trying to fool you into thinking it wasn't, but
But
Roman versus the Authority was the worst fucking storyline.
it was hilarious though. That's how bad it was.
We really supposed to believe the Office hates Roman Reigns. Okay, I don't need niggas that like him at the time. Plenty of people like him now.
He introduces Roman, who makes his way out. Michael Cole mentions that tomorrow Reigns will surpass Pedro Morales' reign as champ and will only be behind Bob Backlund, Hulk Hogan, and Bruno Sammartino as those with the longest single title reigns in WWE history. Reigns settles in with Solo and the Wise Men of the Bloodline. The ring is decked out with a carpet and a new championship on the podium. Triple H begins by congratulating Reigns on surpassing 1,000 days as champion. And of course, the motherfucking Usos seem fit, and the Usos make their way out. As Barrett said, WWE security needs to be fucking fired.
Wade Barrett, my bad. Wade Barrett was like, "What happened to the security?" And Michael Cole just says nothing. He ignores that. Like there is no answer. It's crazy. Why did they have Adam Pearce say that shit if they weren't gonna do anything with that? Like Adam Pearce was just saying shit to get Paul Heyman out of his face. Yeah, I got security and whatever. They ain't coming. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Them niggas on their way right now. That's how Adam Pearce was in the locker room.
Man, Roman was demanding Jay kick his brother Jimmy in the face. Jay won't do it. Roman kept telling him to fucking do it, and he wouldn't. So Jimmy got on the mic and tells Roman that Jay is his brother and brothers stand by each other. He tells Roman that he hasn't been a good brother lately. Roman tells Solo to speak, and Solo tells Roman, "I acknowledge you." He then continues, "But they are my brothers." He then leaves Reigns' side and walks over to join the Usos. The crowd goes fucking wild. Jimmy gets worked up and tells Roman that he can be with them and do the right thing, or he can be on the island of relevancy all by himself. Jimmy pie faces Roman the same way he did to him last week. Jay tells Jimmy he ain't doing this right. Jay gives a speech and Roman decides to accept the offer to remain with them. He has a big emotional hug and even seems to tear up as the crowd explodes. But then Roman lifts the mic up while still in the hug and says no. Solo turns around and fucks up the Usos, taking them out with the Samoan spike. He and Roman leave the ring together. Roman turns and gives the evil eye to his brothers in the ring while mentioning that they didn't stay in line.
Yeah, Paul Heyman was asking because he only hit Jimmy. He didn't hit Jay. He just left Jay sitting there. So as he went up the ramp, Heyman turns to him and he's like, "But my tribal chief, what about Jay?" And Roman says, "Jay will fall in line. He always does." So that's where the hook is. You know, Jimmy, Michael Cole even said it. Jimmy has been excommunicated from the bloodline. So what will Jimmy do now? What's going to happen with? I mean, what will Jay do now? Pardon. What's going to happen with Jay? So yeah, that's how the show ends off.
It was too promo heavy.
Very promo heavy show. That's how they build a lot of their storylines and drama. That's why so many of their fans think it's the only way to do it. But I mean, if you watch this show, you know my problems with this show. So I'll just talk about what I liked, which is, you know, as usual, the Bloodline segment. I thought it was good. I've seen the argument that this storyline would be even better if Roman had actually lost the title, because then they would be beefing over the fact that Roman lost the title. Like, the unraveling would make more sense. And I guess I agree with that. But it's also like, you should know better by this point. You know who this company is. WWE has reached the point where they can have their cake and eat it too with Roman Reigns. Like, he is the top heel of the company, but they still have all the commentators talking about him like he's the fucking greatest thing since sliced bread. Triple H is like, you're going to be telling your grandkids about this man. He's the greatest of all time. Like, they are having their cake very much and eating it too with Roman Reigns. He is everything they ever wanted him to be. And now that he is, they can just do whatever they want. They're going to feed every potential up-and-coming star they have to him because he's in that position now to where he will continue to be a success. So if you want to emotionally invest in someone else as the world champion, then I guess it's not such a great time for you. But if you're just a casual observer of the story and just watching how the story is unfolding with this family, then it's hitting pretty well. Like, I like the bloodline drama. It's good stuff. I'm rocking with it.
I wonder when they're going to bring out some of the old heads again, though. Someone got to get involved now.
I mean, Rikishi been tweeting little shit here and there, and that's the Usos' father. So maybe he shows up like, hey, Us can't be treating the boys like that. Got to get in line with them. And then I jokingly said maybe Rikishi pulls up to sort of fix it, and then Roman kills him in front of his sons. And that's maybe what finally turns Jay against him. Maybe. I don't know. But that could be an idea. Because Jay still seems like he's going to stick with Jimmy. He's not going to go against Jimmy, but he's still scared of Roman. So there has to be the thing that makes him finally not be afraid of Roman anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess we still have that step of the story to deal with. But
that means more bloodline.
It ain't stopping. They just did almost 3 million viewers this segment. So it's definitely not stopping. This is the hottest thing.
A telenovela, the bloodline.
Mm-hmm. It is straight up telenovela style. So, tune in to
Ay, Dios mío, the super kick.
Tune in to Univision next week for the next chapter.
It's SmackDown in Fox.
On el Fox.
En español.
Yes. Hit the SAP button and you'll get all the shit. I wonder how the Spanish commentators are treating this bloodline stuff. They probably going crazy. So yeah, hit the SAP button next week and see how that's rocking. Yeah, that's what SmackDown.
It's SmackDown. It's SmackDown.
Yes.
And a little under an hour too. We're good.
Yeah, we rocked out. Easy money.
Yeah, we did some news. Y'all enjoyed that commentary?
Yes. Let us know how you rocking. With the likes, with the comments, with the you know all the moves to make.
You feeling broody? Get broody with us.
Yes. What was it? Yeah, we start booging out. We booging out here.
We're booging out, getting broody.
Yeah. We're doing the things.
But it is your favorite champion, Kaboom, aka Ivy, aka KDK. Follow it, Raw Zone everywhere, www.rawzonenyc.com. Twitter, TikTok at Raw Zone NYC. It's for myself. You can follow me everywhere at IamIV.exo_. And yeah, subscribe to everything Apple, iHeartRadio, all that good stuff. Yeah.
Good stuff. And you already know where to find me. Find me on Instagram at TJ The Great 1. That's TJ the GR, the number 8, the number 1. Find me on Twitter at TJ The Great. That's TJ the GR, the number 8. It's as simple as that. All the other socials, you know where they at. They up here, up there in the description box, everywhere to go. I ain't got to say too much more.
And what about WrestleMania?
Well, yeah, Instagram.com/RambleMania Show, Bitch Club Podcast. And, we got the Twitter Ramblemania. We got the Facebook Ramblemania. It's everywhere. Got all the links set up.
And then remember, click on the bell and all the content goes straight to you.
Yeah.
He missed that part. He was going to get away with it, too. I wasn't jacking that.
Yes, you gotta drop everything so that the content goes directly to
Yeah.
Indeed.
That was it.
Yes. So yeah, we out of here. You already know the vibes. We gonna hit y'all with the Too Sweet.
What?
And of course, the good fights
and the good
damn night.
And the point and goodies.